Alright, it's time for round 2. You don't know this, but uh, I just followed that camera for like 15 minutes after it froze in the first 5 minutes of the last video. And I didn't want to restart it, but then you ended up having 10 minutes of me dark screen grunting noises trying to figure it out. So this is number 2. But I only got about 5 minutes in. I didn't get through the intro, so I guess we're doing okay. A few things. Hello, my name is Carson Melton. I made that mistake earlier where you know what? Should I explain it? It's not really real anymore. I guess it is real to explain. Okay. The first time I did this video, I started off by saying, hello, I'm fond, which was, in my opinion, a Freudian slip, revealing something that's something to look into, something of importance, I feel like, where you would call yourself your online username before your real name. This time I didn't do that because, well, I already made that mistake. So anyway, I'm Carson Melton, and sometimes on the internet, more than sometimes, most likely, I go by the name Fond. This is the second video diary in my journey outside of time upon a falling rocket ship. Today, me, my roommate, and our friend Serb went out to a restaurant named Carson's for brunch. They wanted to take me for my belated birthday, and unfortunately they don't sell brunch on Thursdays, so we actually had lunch. Anyway, we had a good time today, and I do kind of want to talk about that because I have quite a few videos and like pictures, but I kind of want to splice those in, and I'm an Adobe baby, and I haven't purchased Adobe After Effects in like 2 years, so I'll have to learn a new editing program, and I don't really have that time right now. It's literally 11:33. This video is probably not being uploaded by midnight, and well, unfortunate, I guess, but I'm counting this as today. Anyway, so I'll probably tomorrow try and have a little more free time to edit and maybe talk about what happened today in my experience. In place, though, I've been thinking about what it is I wanted to talk about. I kind of wanted to talk about what I consider indifference to be, and how I consider indifference to be kind of my biggest trait in my life at the moment, and how it's absolutely awful. Both good, but also absolutely awful. But I think that's a video for a different time. Today, I kind of want to talk about secrets. Specifically my secrets, and mostly because this entire video diary journey feels like a secret to me. On my main channel, I'm not comfortable because my family knows about it, my friends know about it, so I wouldn't feel comfortable talking about them or certain things, most likely. So in a way, I'm not going to be trying to share this with anyone. Maybe not directly, maybe indirectly I will. I'm a whore for attention. One day I might share it. My roommate knows I'm starting some project. He doesn't really know this. I'm not going to show it to him right now either. But I kind of want to talk about secrets because this kind of feels like a secret. And before we get into that, I am drinking something today. Or I was going to be, but I've had to take a break. This right here, I didn't know what it was, but I know what it is now because I looked in the last video. This is it's called Dragon Flame. It is a Miyamosa wine, Cerberus, brought about 3 weeks ago when we had a game night here. It was one of the drinks he brought. I have the bottle right here. It's almost empty, as you can tell. I brought the bottle in here though because I wanted to show you what's really interesting about this. Let's see if I can do it with my knee. On the bottom there's a button, and this bottle glows. And it's not that great right now because well, it's almost empty. Hold on, let me hit the button again. What I want to show you though, let me get up. Is inside the bottle, it's kind of like murky. Let's see if I can show this to you. Yeah, you see how murky it is in there? You see all that stuff swirling around? It's such a cool looking like bottle and drink. Anyway, so this is what I'm drinking at the moment. Well, I talk about, I guess, secrets. Also, we have a little music playing, mostly because I don't know, I wanted to have music playing. Let's take the first sip. It's very nice wine. Very bubbly. Alright, let me get comfortable. As you can see, I'm on my beanbag. I wanted to do this video like an hour ago, but when I got this area set up, this door right here fell apart, more or less. It fell off the hinges, and I had to spend 30 minutes fixing that. I got started, and then I had to spend 30 minutes fixing my camera. Now let's hope it doesn't mess up again. Anyway, I feel like that's how things always are, isn't it? It's always one thing after another. You start something, and then an issue happens, another issue. Life is just handling a bunch of obstacles until you can't handle one anymore. And then when you finally find the obstacle you can't handle, I guess you just die. That's how life goes. Alright. Let's get into this. Let's talk about secrets. What is a secret to me? I think there's two types of secrets I consider for myself. There's probably more for other people. For me, there's two types. There's a personal secret, and there is a passed on secret. I guess that's the best way to call it. Or inherited secret. I don't know, something like the sort. Personal secrets are things that are about you personally, about your personal life, that is a secret and is fully your own. A passed on secret is a friend from a friend or someone who tells you a secret and says, keep this a secret. I have a few secrets from friends. I have a few passed on secrets. Some things, those are secrets. Passed on secrets are secrets I will not talk about, because those are other people's secrets and I do not want to hurt their trust. I have the right to talk about personal secrets, but I'm going to admit that there are some passed on secrets I own that I will not talk about nor lightly bring up here, because those are not things I feel like I should talk about. And if there, for some reason, I feel like I need to speak on the matter, I likely will never say who it is or what, or I'll probably even hint that it's part of a secret. I'll just bring it up like a topic. That's probably how I'd handle that. Personal secrets. I don't really think I'm full of secrets. I think I'm a secretless boy, quite frankly. If someone asks me a question, I'll almost always answer it. I do have some shame, but it's not like there are things I refuse to talk about. Just most things that I could consider a secret are things that don't get brought up much to talk about, because, well, I don't talk about myself much, and these things are often kind of out of the whim. It's not very often people are like, oh, tell me about your childhood, blah, 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 things like that. I'm genuine. I do not think I have secrets. However, there are a few things that I would not easily talk about, or I might not say to anyone and their mother, like if they brought it up. And I think I'm going to admit some of those. I admitted one yesterday. The fact that I am a chronic masturbator, porn watcher. I watched a bazillion things. There are 1,000 things I've seen that I would not want to talk about. There's 1,000 things I've masturbated to that I would not want to talk about. I think those need to be kept to its own video. A video on my struggle with masturbation. I don't think those are secrets to talk about here. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's more. I know one I want to talk about, but I'm trying to think if there are more I wish to talk about. I don't think so. I think there's just one I really want to talk about. It's kind of a secret. Maybe two. Maybe it's two, but they'll be combined into one. When I was a kid, around the age of, I don't know, 8, 7, my parents divorced, mostly because my husband, my father was dating or basically having an affair with a woman named Julie, who would eventually be the mother of my two siblings, half siblings, Nathaniel and Natalie. Julie and my dad were having an affair. This separated my mother. Uh, for a while, I lived with my mother until eventually, a few years down the line, she. This is a long story. This isn't really a secret. This is a story for a different time, too, but I'm giving you a little context. She gets busted on a DUI. I'm in the car. She's driving drunk. I get taken from her, and by this time, my dad had went through rehab on narcotics. He was really into meth. That was his drug of choice, although he took all sorts of stuff. He had went through rehab, and he came out clean. So then I am taken from my mother, who goes to jail, and I go into the custody of my father, where I would stay. And at the time, he was dating Julie still. Um, and she already had a son too. His name is Jaden. My, uh, I can't really call him a stepbrother because they weren't married, but for many years they're my stepbrother. Now we have no communication at all, and we haven't talked in years since we've grown up. And I don't really have any interest in talking to him, and he might feel the same way. Not that I think he's a bad person necessarily, and hopefully that he doesn't think anything like that about me. Um. Anyway, I go into his custody, and Julie is there, and her and Jaden, more or less. There, this is where the secret kind of happens. We're living together for years. For years. I don't know what point in the situation this was. I do know it was by the time we moved out of our first apartment and we're in a double wide house trailer. No, it wasn't. It wasn't in the house trailer. It was in that first apartment, I think. These memories have been repressed for a long time, so bear with me. It was in our first apartment. I'm trying to think of the layout. Yeah, it was in the first apartment. My father and Julie were out. I don't know. They were doing something out in the house or somewhere, watching a movie maybe. I don't. They were doing something. Jaden and I were in the back room. Our bedroom. I think we shared a bedroom. We were in our bedroom. The door was shut. And at this age, I'm trying to think how old I was. I was probably 8 about this time. 9 maybe. I'm definitely not older. I might be a year or two younger. So I might even be I'm probably about 8. I'm probably about 8, maybe 9. I don't think I'm 10 yet. And he's a year or two younger than I am, so he's 6 or 7, somewhere in there, most likely. We are in the back room, and we're just being kids. We're playing and we're talking and just doing whatever. There, I don't know how to really tell this story because I don't really understand how this happened or what even made this occur in the sense of how this even became a thought. I do not remember. After this happened and I was being interrogated about it, I do not remember what encouraged it at all. I have no idea what encouraged these next choices of events that happened in that room. I don't know what was going on. I think. Damn, this is hard to talk about actually. Because it's really. I was a kid and I think it's forgivable. And once again, I don't know what was even happening. Somehow we get undressed. I don't remember if I encouraged that. I might have. I think I might have. I think it was like the devil's on my shoulder. I might have encouraged that somehow. So we're undressed. 7-year-old boy and like an 8-year-old boy. We're undressed. Somehow it comes up that something to do with our penises. Uh, I don't know what the thought process was. This is so fucking crazy. Have I ever even told someone this? I don't even know if I've told someone this. Oh, I did tell someone this, but I don't think they knew I was serious. All right. Fuck. All right. We're undressed. Interest goes to our penises. I'm for whatever reason, I have some idea in my head, like something happens, like there is some kind of process here. I do not know if I watched a movie that I shouldn't have. Actually, I think there might be some backstory to how I got to this. And we'll go back to it. So I'll just tell you the fact. We were there. I was on, for whatever reason, I was intrigued by this, and I remember bringing up the idea that we should suck each other's penises to see what it feels like. Mind you, I am like 8 years old, okay? I am 8 years old. And I'm talking to a 7-year-old kid. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, I don't think. I don't even know how I got these ideas in my head. And I obviously did not realize it was, I don't think I knew it was wrong necessarily. I think I might have somewhat. But I don't even think I fully understood it was wrong. Because I remember getting in trouble for it like a week later. And being so confused. Anyway. So yeah, what happens is I bring this up. And I guess he agrees, or I get him to agree. So we end up sucking each other off. Well, that's not the right terminology. We did not come. I don't think you can come at that age. But we basically gave each other a blowjob for, I don't know, a short amount of time. And to we're like, oh, that feels interesting. Blah, 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 blah. And we literally just stopped and went back to being children as if nothing happened. And I didn't think of it again until about a week later, whenever I guess it somehow, I think just innocently got brought up by Jaden to my parents, well, my dad and Julie, and then I got interrogated. I remember being interrogated. And this is the secret kind of ends there because I mean the secret is that happened as a 9-year-old, as an 8 or 9-year-old boy with my 7 or 8 year old stepbrother. We did that. Like, that's just absurd. There's nothing more to it. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how it happened. But then I get interrogated, and I remember the week after being so confused because when they brought it up and said, you know what you did, I didn't know what they were referring to at first. Until it was brought up, and then once I realized I did something wrong, that's when I started realizing, oh, that was a mistake. The problem is, just as I am confused, the adults were just as confused too. Like, how did this happen? There has to be a reason. That's what they thought. But it really was just child innocence. Because whenever they tell me why I did it, I didn't have an answer like, oh, I planned this out. My answer was because I was curious or something like that. I ended up coming up with a lie, so I had to find a way to justify it. And I think over like 2 days span, I managed to come up with a lie that since they looked like mushrooms, I wondered if they would taste like mushrooms. But I never even had a mushroom before. So I knew what a mushroom tasted like. But that was a lie I came up with then. Anyway, this is part of a grander story for another time too, about my childhood with Julie and my dad, and all the suffering and I guess abuse, if you call it that, I went through in that situation. Perhaps that's another secret I have, or I don't tell much. It's not really a secret. Another thing I don't tell much. Part of my childhood, the earlier parts of my childhood, whoa, I went through a lot of mental abuse. Some physical, but definitely a lot of mental abuse. The later childhood was pretty good, but that early childhood did its damage, and it couldn't be repaired. Not properly. So that's maybe another secret. I logically thinking about what occurred during that moment, there is another bit of a story. When I was living with my mother before she got busted DUI with me in the back seat, and I got sent back to my dad. When I was still living with her, there was a kid downstairs in an apartment complex named Harley. Harley and I were friends. We were roughly the same age, I think. Mind you, this is before the story I just told you. A couple years, I think, before. Or, yeah, maybe a year at least, but probably a couple years. Harley and I are friends for a long time. One day we end up somewhere. I don't know if it's at like his nana's house or like so we're not in the apartments anymore. We're at someone's house. Like there's something going on, and I was invited along or some. I don't know. I was even younger at that point. I hardly remember, but basically Harley and I are there at someone's house. Pretty big house if I remember right, and we're playing, and we end up in like a back room. I think we were playing hide and seek or something. We were playing hide and seek in a back room bedroom. And so I'm seeking. I don't know what time this is, but I'm like seeking. Maybe the first time. Maybe it's we played a little bit already. I'm seeking. I go into this bedroom, and this it's like a closet door, kind of like I'm sitting in right now, where the closet has two double doors, and like they shut. I think that one though, instead of having doors open like this, might have been a sliding door. It slid open. But it was probably about the size of this one, but it seemed really, really big because we were little kids. So he's hiding inside this closet, and I end up finding him. So I go in there and I bust him and stuff. I'm like, ha ha ha, I found you. You're in here. And then we're sitting there. I think we just start talking or something. We're in this dark closet. It's basically closed. And the light's not on in there. We start talking. What else happens then? We're talking about something, and then I'm 90% sure he's the one who, like, maybe I make a joke or something. I don't know. But somehow the idea of butts get brought up. And I think he's something like, you want to, like, show each other our butts? Probably, like, innocent child stuff. Like, innocent child nonsense still. It definitely was. It was definitely still innocent child nonsense. So we do that. We end up showing each other our butts, I think, or something like that. I can't remember if we touched them or what. It was something along the lines of that, which obviously we both knew was a little bit weird, but still childhood innocence. And that was basically all it was. We just talked and we did that and we went back to playing and stuff. It wasn't that weird. We didn't do it. I don't think we did anything else. Not that I remember. Maybe I've forgotten. Who knows? Not that I remember, though. But I kind of suspect that event played into me having the base curiosity whenever I saw, like, my stepbrother in his underwear or something. Where I had that base curiosity of, like, I'm just curious. And, like, I kind of had the idea based on what I experienced with Harley, like, 2 years ago. And I think that led into that probably. That's the only idea I have, because it genuinely was just like a spur of the moment thing, as far as I remember. Anyway, I think that's my only, like, real secret, I guess. Maybe there's more, maybe there's not. Who knows? But I'm pretty much open book. If you ask me things, I usually will tell them. Tasty. All right. What time is it? 11:56. I think I've been talking for like 20 minutes or something. All right. Let's see. Secrets, though. I guess that kind of is the topic. Like, I've already covered most of it. Um, I think in general, secrets are a little stupid. I think most people should be open about themselves. I don't know. I think that's probably really harsh for me to say they're stupid. I feel a lot of times secrets aren't necessary. Maybe that's a better answer. I don't feel like secrets are actually necessary most of the time. It's just people are too worried, ashamed, which I am too. Um, but I feel like too much like importance is put on secrets, or maybe not. See, look how indifferent. Like I'm kind of indifferent since it's hard for me to talk about it because I'm kind of indifferent. Like, what do I think? Do I really care? Probably not. Have all the secrets you want. Point is, I don't like being caught up in secrets when it's like dramatic and people trying to involve me in that nonsense. I can stay away from that. I think what I'm trying to say is a lot of people use secrets, like make them more important than they need to be. They have drama, or they get really scared or worried, or can be manipulated with secrets. Um, sorts of things. Or like they live in paranoia. Who knows? But I don't really have any secrets besides what I've talked about. And even then, if someone asked me kind of probably more directly about that, I'd probably tell them. And I have said that stuff before. My family knows. I think my roommate, I might have told before, or at least part of it. I told someone before who thought it was a joke. Like, I have said these things. So they're not really secrets. This right here, this video diary stuff is the most secret-like thing I have. Because the things I want to be free to say what I want to without having to worry about people I know or people who might be offended. So this really is kind of like my little secret, and I think it's going to be quite relieving. Like right now, I'm just talking. I don't really have much more to say about secrets. I feel like secrets are mysterious, but not for the right reasons. Usually. Is it good to have secrets? I don't think it's good to have secrets. I think having secrets is worse than not having secrets. Maybe I do have like faint secrets that are kind of like white lies. Is a lie a secret? Is like a white lie a secret? Like you don't want to tell someone something. What if it's like a not really? What if it's like a not full truth? Like what if something happens? I just a good example is my roommate was trying. Okay, more context. I recently went to a day shift position at my work from night shift. I work in a position where there's basically one other guy who does my same job, and he's the one who trained me. A week into my job, he quits. So there's a position open. I tell my roommate is interested. My roommate applies for it, but basically kind of gets, I guess you can say, ignored, or like, not really, they don't really entertain him. And they kind of say like, he's not a good pick because he's late a lot, which is true. And then even more so, I hear from my boss and Tina and like the hiring manager Trent, who's like the big boss, that the position may not be filled. That they may not give us a new person to fill Jay, who was my trainer who quit, his job. So I kind of just took over. I took over the main role. So I basically got instantly promoted. I instantly got a senior position in terms of. I didn't actually get a raise. I just got promoted in the sense of I'm been there the longest, and I'm now in charge of doing the job that he was doing. So yesterday, while I was at work, there was a new guy named Jaden. A lot of Jadens in this conversation, and also kind of ironic that the last employee was named Jay, and they hire a new guy named Jaden. Maybe something. I don't know if it's. I almost feel sick. It almost feels like a sick joke. It's not that sick, but it kind of feels like a joke almost. So anyway, I meet this guy named Jaden briefly, who's going through orientation, being trained. and I'm told he is going to be on my team. So basically, it means they're hiring a new guy, uh, and they chose not to choose anyone inside the store, which means they did not choose my roommate. And I am currently, I almost had it slip yesterday, I think, but I played it off. I'm currently not telling my roommate that they are hiring someone in that position because I know it's going to make him not feel good. So that is like a half truth where I'm not saying that, though I know it. So I guess in theory that is a secret. So I suppose I do have secrets like that I keep to avoid hurting people. Basically, not telling people things that I do not believe are beneficial or would help them. I like this song a lot. Okay. I'm trying to think. Anything more on secrets? No, I don't really believe so. I think I'm a secretless boy. I suppose if anyone watches these videos and they want to test me, they can ask questions, see if I'll answer them or not. Hmm. I guess the secret I kept from my family is that I did mushrooms in the house. I had smoked weed well, I didn't smoke like weed, but I smoked a pen sometimes in the house. They ended up learning I was drinking. But I don't think they ever knew I was doing stuff like that. I just another secret is goes back to masturbation. Masturbating online when people are trying to talk to me. Muting my microphone, of course, but doing gross stuff like that. Mm. I don't really steal stuff. I don't really break laws. I'm kind of tired. I kind of just want to lay here and ramble more and more. But I kind of want to also keep this video, which is already getting very long, as concise as possible. So I think I'm going to turn off the video, start uploading it. I'm just going to lay here and listen to music, I feel like. Maybe one of these days I'll just have, I definitely will, once I start running out of topics and things happening in my life, I'll definitely have more rambly videos. Okay. I don't want to get up. I'm so comfy. I'm going to get up. I'm coming over there to turn off the camera. All right. Thank you all very much. Or something. Or not. Goodbye forever.